All right. A little cold Sunday morning action for you from the IDP show. I've got my good buddy Jake at Late Round DB on X. Jake, how you feeling this weekend, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing good. We were chatting a little bit, right? Some of the leagues are hitting just right. Got a couple of nice first round buys, but ultimately, I get to hang out with you, Bob, and talk football. So, playoffs or not, I'm having a great day right now just because of that.
One of the best things about having you on is that, not to mention good looks, just unbelievable takes from week to week, but also the ability for you to talk and be able to actually drink my coffee from time to time. When you do the solo show, it's just a lot of talking, and the coffee sips come a little awkwardly, I find. So I don't know if that's anything that you've experienced, but it's been difficult for you, boy.
Well, I'm happy to step in and help here,
Yeah.
and we can jump right into them, and people can start listening to me, and you can start enjoying your coffee.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you're about to face a playoff matchup for the first time, congratulations. We have got the first round of what most people have as their semifinals in their playoffs. If you're one of those degenerates that has an 18 week championship, I don't know what you're doing here. You should probably reconsider a lot of things that you got going on in life if you have a week 18 championship. But for most of us, it's the first week of the playoffs. Throw some comments in here, questions, rest of season, rest of playoffs, dynasty questions, trades, start sit. Me and Jake started off the year with a couple weeks of start sit and some Q&A stuff to begin the year, and I thought it would be fitting to finish this up. If you have any questions that we don't get to and anything that you want to look into, the IDPshow.com articles, waiver wire, start sit, trade analyzers. We've got Adam's Dynasty ranks. I mean, it is a plethora of information over there at the IDP show. So with no further ado, let's get here to the first one. We got Jay Kelly. Good morning, gents. Playoff time. 2 questions for ya. Petrie or Metellus? Pick one. Edge Cooper, Terrell Bernard, or Jermaine Pratt. So I'm assuming there's one of Petrie or Metellus, and then Edge Cooper, Terrell Bernard, or Jermaine Pratt. Where are you going there?
Yeah, for me, Petrie Metellus, super close, get it. But for me, it's Metellus. That's a very healthy matchup against the Cowboys and a strong offense there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a slight edge to Metellus for me. And then today, at the linebacker, I think I go Edger and Cooper here. Pratt, Bernard is kind of my order for them. Bernard just coming off that injury, and he's kind of
Yep.
been pretty mid most of the year. So Pratt's had some big games. I still struggle to trust him, especially who knows what's going on with that team overall. Could be an ugly game overall for the Colts. So I think Coop's the one I like there against the Broncos.
Yep, we're in step there with the. I would have probably gone Bernard if it hadn't been for the injury, but the injury kind of, a little bit of reservation, and it's kind of interesting too. It's the inverse of weeks. I feel like to where early weeks, week 1, 2, 3, 4, you kind of want to start your studs and don't get cute. It's kind of similar for the playoffs for me. If you're a massive underdog, I can see swinging for the fences and maybe starting an edge instead of a linebacker, maybe in a flex position, but. I agree with you. I want Metellus there. I want everybody offensively and defensively in that matchup, to be honest with you, just because I can't remember what the over-under is, but I think it's pretty high. The ball will be thrown a lot in that game. Petrie's been playing, just kind of hit or miss, so he's nothing to write home about. But then, yeah, I agree. Pratt is a little gross right now, but Adrian Cooper, hopefully he'll turn it around for you here in Week 14. Another one, also torn on who to play. Orlando Gadsden or Mike Gesicki?
To me, that's Gesicki. They got a pretty healthy over/under in that game. Ever since Gesicki's come back into the lineup healthy here the last couple of weeks, he's looked really good. Good utilization. Gadsden's got a tough matchup against the Chiefs, and he's actually kind of looked a little meh the last few weeks here too. And that's not to say the talent's not there. That's just the way it goes when you have that many pass catching options. So don't let the bias of the huge weeks earlier from Gadsden, I think, steer you away from playing Gesicki this week, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Gadsden there, week 6 through 9, 11, 29, 18, 11 points per game. Pretty solid for Orlando. But then since then, just single-digit games of 4, 6, 3, and 2. Even though the Kansas City matchup is enticing, I get that. Also take into consideration that T. Higgins is out this week, so Gesicki is going to be probably utilized even more than he has been in recent weeks in the on the offensive side of the ball. So good pull there, Jake. All right. Morning, guys. Thanks for all your help. 2 questions for you. For DL, pick one to sit: Jalen Phillips, Nick Herbig, or Jonathan Grenard. I know who I'm sitting. Who you sitting, Jake?
Pretty easily, actually, and this is sad for me to say, as the former Houston Texan, Jonathan Grenard's who I'm sitting here. Herbig with Watt likely to be limited, for the rest of the year, and with the dry needling issue. Phillips, a really great matchup against the Raiders, and Grenard, and it's not a terrible matchup for them this week. He's been just quietly
very
productive.
Mediocre.
But nothing big. So this week, I'm comfortably, I think, starting Phillips and Herbig.
Hey, if you got Herbig, this is the weeks we live for. With no TJ Watt, man, Herbig is going to shine. He has done it historically. All right, another question here from Paul. For LB, pick 3 to start. Already starting Ernest Jones. Thank you. He's going to save Christmas. He saved, what did he save for us this year? Thanksgiving or Halloween? I can't remember.
I think it was Thanksgiving, but he did, yeah.
He's a saver of all holidays. TJ Edwards, Dion Henley, Barrett Carter, Rosewood, Shaq Thompson, Cody Simon. Pick 3. So I'm assuming Ernest Jones is one of those 3. I am also going to go TJ Edwards. I don't really want to get him out of my lineup right now. Yep. Henley's not a guy that I'm going to trust. Shaq Thompson is interesting. Cody Simon is interesting. Carter is getting the playing time. Roseboom as well. I'm probably going to go Barrett Carter just because he's rarely leaving the field. I mean, I think the production is mediocre at times with Carter, but I'm playing this based off of how many snaps these guys are going to get.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Cody Simon would be kind of the one I'd be splitting hairs with you on Barrett Carter. So I could see that matchup, especially in a extremely positive matchup for the Texans, 9.5-point home favorites. Could see a lot of Woody Marks and Daria Gumbawale. So it could just be a really friendly matchup for linebackers there. As a fringe, sure. Again, splitting hairs though, it really feels like a coin flip to me.
Yeah, it's a toss up for sure. Third eye, which 3 LB should I start this week? Jack Campbell, Devin White, Landman, Carter, or Quay Walker? Very similar kind of conversation there. You're not taking Jack Campbell out of the lineup because he's played too well. Honestly, I'm starting Landman in all situations. So what do you think there, Jake? Devin White, Carter, or Quay Walker? Carter or Walker going to play over Devin White?
Yeah, I mean, it's a matchup with Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a very slow-paced team. They have not been an effective offense. I could see the reservations with Devin White this week, just particular to the matchup. Quay Walker, Devin White. I think I still go Devin White, though. I don't know that. Yeah.
We were to have this conversation this time last year. People would be like, what year is it? Why are we playing Devin White over Quay Walker? But I mean, it's the snaps have been there. The production's been pretty good. Just ride it. He's the hot hand. I like it. I actually don't like it. It feels really gross, but such is life in 2025. All right, Kevin Winston or Nick Imanwori this week?
I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers, man. I'm a huge Kevin Winston stan. Since day one. Now that he's healed up, there was an unfortunate set of injuries that allowed him to get into the lineup. They saw what they've had. They found a way to get him on the field 100% of the time. Guys just out there making plays. He's making mistakes too. He's a rookie, man. But I got a lot of him in Dynasty, and I'm excited to see what he continues to do for us. Been productive up to this point. I know Imanwari had the massive game last week. So if you feel strongly about him, I'm not against it, but I really believe in the talent and the utilization of Kevin Winston here for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a nice little bit of information. Me and Jake are just here to kind of give you all a little heads up. This is kind of where our heads are at, and this is where we would be at. But you all are grown adults and able to gamble your own money. So by all means, you make your own decisions. Yeah, I mean, Indianapolis at Seattle. Imanwori could have a couple, little fun plays against Old Man Rivers. So I would hate to, definitely go. I'm probably with you. I'm probably Winston as well. But Imanwori could have a really good week. So that's a splitting hairs type of situation. All right, Wei K. Good morning and greetings from Germany.
Guten Tag.
German Jake. Oh, Guten Tag. There we go. It's a good one. All right, Clint. Good morning, guys. Hope all is well. Joseph Osai at Baltimore or Cleveland Farrell against the Titans. Thanks for all the great information. I'm probably going Osai here. I'm not rinsing and repeating it quite with Farrell yet.
Yeah.
He's had a couple fun little weeks, but nothing that's sticky. I don't think.
No, and Osai's put together some really solid performances himself. With getting a lot of utilization with the Trey Hendrickson injury. So Baltimore, you got Lamar, who loves to hold on to the ball, even though he's not running it a lot. So I think that just gives more opportunities for, long time to throw situations where Osai can, maybe he's not winning on, a victory against his matchup on the O-line, but he's getting there just because he's cleaning up a sack because Lamar's holding on to the ball too long. So
agreed. With no Trey Hendrickson, I mean, Osai's usage has been pretty high. So I like that take. All right, hot chocolate. IDP 1-2-3 scoring with Watt out. Would you start Herbig over Jalen Phillips, Cody Simon, or Edgerrin Cooper? I would over Simon and Cooper. I'm going to do it over Jalen Phillips. You with me? Oh man. I mean, Jalen Phillips does get Geno Smith this week, so that's kind of interesting.
Kenny Pickett, actually, just FYI.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
But that O-line is still trash. So
yeah, they're still terrible. I don't know. I could be swayed to Jalen Phillips, but I mean, all of these weeks, I just get so suckered into when Watt's out and Herbig's going to play 70-80% of snaps. It's hard to look away from that dude.
Yeah.
Am I crazy, Jake?
You are not. You're not. Herbig. I think Herbig's in for a big week. I know it's tougher, right? Tua, generally speaking, is a quick time to throw. But actually, I think as you look over the last 3 to 4 weeks versus the rest of the year, he's been holding on to the ball a little bit longer, which again is what we want to see for our defensive linemen in their matchups. So, I'm very okay with Herbig in there. I'd probably want to keep Phillips still. I'd probably keep Coop in.
Okay.
I'd probably go Herbig over Simon, I think.
I will say this is kind of the similar situation I talked to earlier. If you're a massive underdog and it's a big play league to where your defensive linemen are going to outscore your linebackers, then I don't know. I can see the argument for Jalen Phillips over Herbig because you're right. It is Tua. That offensive line for the Raiders is terrible. I mean, so you're going to get to Kenny Pickett a couple times. But, I mean, Tua's coming up to Pittsburgh, and if it's anything like Bowling Green right now, it's probably going to be like a single-digit game. That's not going to be real fun. So my heart wants to say Herbig. My brain probably says Jalen Phillips along with you there, Jake. But, hey, make your own decision there. What's up, fellas? I currently have DeJean starting. Should I start him or drop any of Witherspoon versus Indiana, Avonte Maddox versus the Rams, or playing Kirby Joseph and Harper out, or Humphreys versus Cincinnati? DeJean, should I start him or drop him for any of? I'm not. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll DeJean out. I'm not gonna roll any of these other guys instead of him. Would you?
No, I mean Maddox is the only one where I'm like, if this is the one spot in your lineup where you feel like you have to make a difference, Maddox is probably the only name I'd really give serious consideration over DeJean. I get it, right? Again, Philly's got the Raiders, likely not going to have a lot going on there. But DeJean's just such a capable player that they're trying to, get into the mix defensively that I'm comfortable still rolling him out, even maybe a less plus matchup overall for himself.
I like
Especially
that.
I don't want to be dropping him because if you're moving on, you want him the rest of the playoffs still too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not putting a guy like that out on waivers right now. TJ Edwards, Papo, I'm assuming that means, or Adrian Cooper. Pick one. TJ Edwards.
I think I go Coop. Edwards snap should normalize. He's definitely the number 2 for me. It's close again.
Okay.
Cooper, it's like a 60-40 split. I just like the big play upside from Cooper because Edwards, with dealing with the injuries, we just haven't seen enough of that this year. But history showed us that he can be elite for us too, though. So I get it.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a toss-up. Cooper's definitely the better talent. TJ Edwards, maybe a separate floor in my opinion. Do you see Maddox playing near line of scrimmage more in branch role? He is a CB playing SAF if that happens. Yeah, I mean, see the prior analysis at late round DB. Yeah. Avonte could have a good week, but I'm not necessarily plugging him into Brian Branch's production.
Right. Yeah. Don't assume the production. Utilization could match. I think, if I'm recalling correctly, Maddox played some nickel in Philadelphia when
Yes.
he was there. So, that's really where Brian Branch gets his chance to thrive, is when he's near the line of scrimmage like that. But he was never on Brian Branch's level, right? He was always just kind of a
Not at all.
mid-level nickel. So I think he gets some good utilization. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here just yet.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, he's 70% of Brian Branch. So,
Right.
All right, Hottie Joe, morning. Who should I start at flex and who should I bench here? AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, Brees Hall, RJ Harvey. I'm assuming that's Devin Neal, Dowdle, Slayton, Pearsall, Chris Rodriguez. I don't really know how many you're starting here. It's pretty. I mean, RJ Harvey is going to be higher up the list for me than some of these other guys. Dowdle probably as well. I'm not really relying on Slayton. Pearsall's been nothing. I know Chris Rodriguez could have a good week from 1 week to the next, but you never really know when to start him. I'm probably going Harvey at the top. If you need points, I like RJ Harvey because AJ Brown and DK Metcalf have definitely had some weird weeks. But those are, man, that's some mid decisions there.
Yeah, I like Harvey up top there. It still is a tough matchup against a strong Packers defense. I'm going to go a little against you on this one. I do like AJ Brown actually quite a bit, and I think it's primarily because that offense clearly only functions when it's targeting AJ Brown and maybe Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith has had like a 25 to 30% target share these last few weeks, but still such limited production. Whereas AJ Brown is just getting peppered with these targets, and he dropped a 20-yard touchdown last game too. So I think for me, it's Brown, Harvey. So again, probably Harvey is the consistent answer between the two of us. It sounds like, but I could definitely see Brown being slotted in there.
Not Metcalf though, in my opinion.
He had a great game, great utilization last week, but everything before that, the last 4 or 5 weeks, I don't trust 1 week. Yeah. I
agree. All right, let's get to some more IDP questions that we might know. Jeffrey Simmons, in Van Winkle, Sweat or Chase Young, 1 point for tackle or assist, 4 points for a sack, pick 2. Jeffrey Simmons is not coming out of my lineup, so that will be one that will be locked in for me. Any of those other ones, we'll pick one of the 3. I'm assuming you're also taking Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons is a lock for me. Chase Young gets a tough matchup. The Carolina offense has been quietly effective and relatively protective of Bryce Young. So I was leaning Young till I saw the matchup. The Bears, cold game against the Browns. I think I got to go against them, man. Like, again, same thing. I love quarterbacks who love to hold on to the ball, especially quarterback. And Shadour's looked really good these last few weeks, right? Like, all credit to the success he's had. But he loves to take that like pivot step and drop back even further out of the pocket. That is just a plus thing for our defensive ends, man. That gives them all the time in the world in the angles to run that down for a sack. So I love Simmons and Montez Sweat this week.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's who I'm going to choose as well. I'm never choosing Chase Young forever for until eternity. So I agree with you on that one. Ezraku or Chop Robinson this week?
Oh, that's a tough one. I love Chop Robinson to start the year. That's who my gut tells me right off the bat. But the matchup against Pittsburgh, I don't know. I don't know. Coin flip, man. I don't know. What do you say?
I say Chop. I mean, Chop's been hot here as of late. You've got Pittsburgh this week, and it's going to be a little bit of a chilly matchup. But Chop's usage has been up here recently. I know I like Ezraku. I know he's been really good. Kind of a little revelation for the Cowboys. I didn't think he was going to play as good recently as he has, but pretty much since the bye, Chop Robinson seeing 55, 60% of snaps every single week. He had 5 tackles in week 13 with 1.5 sacks, and then last week against the Jets, 55% of snaps, 1 tackle, which kind of sucks. But he did have a strip sack last week to get you a 15-point game. So Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers can't really move that much. I think they're going to let Chop probably play quite a bit. It's a Monday night football game. Maybe the kid wants to let the the Robinson name shine on a Monday night. So I'm here for the fun. Let's go Chop Robinson. All right, Clint Story, thoughts on Jalen Hunt versus the Raiders? I need some QB hits and sacks on today. LOL, thanks. I mean, it's a dart throw. To rely on a guy like Jalen Hunt in a pretty pivotal week is that's a take. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I kind of feel similarly. He has had some solid utilization the last few weeks, right? Pretty consistently 40 plus snaps. So
Yeah,
consistently getting pressures. Obviously had the huge week last week. So it's a good matchup. It's not a bad idea, or it's not. I can see the outcome, right? Where that's a very good matchup
for
or
sure.
a week for Jalix Hunt here. So I
It's
don't
going
know
to
the
be
other
him
options,
and
but I'm
it's going to be him and Jalen Phillips. I mean, you're exactly right. It's a good matchup. It's going to be at home, I believe. Yeah, so it's in Philadelphia. It's going to be a cold week. Wow, can he pick it back in? Oh, no, never mind. This is Philadelphia, not Pittsburgh. So up kind of in the same area. We'll see what Kenny Pickett's about. But yeah, Jugs Hunt, QB hit sacks. It could happen. I don't know. We'll see. When he start duty B's, Telano Hufunga, Derwin James, Cam Curl, Trayvon Morig, or Jeremy Chin. Wow, that's kind of an embarrassment of riches there, to be honest with you.
yeah.
And then you've got the points and everything. So which two are you pulling there, late round DB? You should know this one off the dome.
That's a tough one. It's a great one. Cam Curls had such a nice resurgent year after a kind of a iffy start his first year in Los Angeles. So oh God, this is. I think you got to start Chin, and I'm honestly split between Curl or Merrick. And then that's Hufanga and Derwin are great too this year. Like Chin's in for sure. I don't know who you got number 2. Are you with me on Chin?
I'm with you on Chin. I don't know. It's hard for me to look away from Cam Curl lately, to be honest with you. Cam Curl's
Let's
good.
get him in the lineup.
Quentin Lake is not playing. Obviously right now he's out. It's going to be a pretty decent little matchup, I believe, for the Rams. So I don't know. I just this is the part in the season where you look at him, Cam Curl. Look at him. Hey, every jersey that I buy, the players just get worse. So in that matchup with Detroit, I want pretty much anybody, both sides of the ball involved here. So we got a super chat question. Let's jump down here to it. Shamari Connor, CJ Gardner-Johnson, or drop one for Petrie or DeJean, rank for the rest of the playoffs too. Thanks. And that's from at Brindrum. Wow, that's a hard word to say. What do you think there, Jakey?
I don't think I'm dropping this week here for either of them. I like Chamari. I want Gardner-Johnson in my lineup, especially Kyler Gordon just went on IR. So Gardner-Johnson's locked into that slot heavy role. They clearly want him in that. He's kind of a liability in pass coverage. So they're going to keep him near the line of scrimmage, in my opinion. Dennis Allen loves the blitz. But yeah, Gardner-Johnson's locked in for me. And Connor, I mean, they clearly want him at the line of scrimmage too. They've been doing the same thing with him, rolling him out there, consistent usage all year, consistent tackler for us. So maybe not the big play upside that we'd like to see, but I love that consistency in my lineup all week. These are both guys I've got rostered in a lot of spots. So I'm with you.
I agree with you. The interesting thing to me is that for Dynasty, you would probably like Pierre and DeJean more. For this season, it's Shamari Connor and CJ Gardner-Johnson. So, if it's working, don't get too fancy here, going into your playoffs. Just what's been working, let's just pretend like it's going to. So thanks for the super chat. Let's get back up here to Clint. Byron Murphy or Marlon Humphrey in my CB position. They both have great matchups. Thanks, you guys. Probably Byron Murphy.
I think so. Yeah. Right. Dallas.
That would be my selection there over Humphrey. I mean, Humphrey's been fine, but I don't think it's been anything to write home about.
Yep, and it's such a plus matchup against Dallas. So yeah.
Oh yeah, That's another situation we talked about with Metellus early on, to where it's gonna be high scoring. I forget what the over under is in that game, but the ball's gonna be on a lot, and the DB should profit from that. Also, shout out to Johnny the Greek. Go to the IDP.com. Check out his cornerback article if you have any more of these cornerback position questions and don't get to, or if you think we got them wrong, that's fine. You can go check it out as well. All right, well, let's flash through a couple of these so we can catch up. Tyler Barnes, Devin Lloyd, or D Winters this week? Thanks, you guys, a ton. Wow, 2,000 pounds worth of thanks.
Devin Lloyd is by a hair for me. Not great matchups for either, but Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, not close. Which two SAF should I start? Iman Wari, Winston Jr., or Battle? Top two.
Winston and Iman Wari.
Yep, I agree. That's a sexy little, starting roster there at this point in the season. All right, start Herbig over Phillips, Simon, or Adrian Cooper. We've had this question quite a bit.
Yeah.
Had that earlier on. IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring. I'm unfamiliar with that. You should probably switch to big 3 scoring. A little bit more even across the board. Definitely gives the edges a little bit more boost for getting to the quarterback. Start Herbig over Phillips. We've had that conversation. If you feel like rolling the dice this weekend and maybe Herbig can get to at home on Monday night, plus you're going to have a fun Monday night. I mean, you're going to be able to turn the TV on, see the boy Herbig play, and get after Tua and probably frigid tips. That Jalen Phillips game could also be very profitable as well for Phillips and for Jalen Hunt.
Yep. Yeah, I'm comfortable with Herbig over all of them. If you need the big plays, you want the big splashy boom for your week. But otherwise, Edge Cooper if you're looking for a safer floor.
Agreed. All right, Osai, Trayvon Walker, or Latu? Probably Latu, and then I'm okay with Osai over Trayvon Walker. Walker hasn't really played great as of recent. They did get the Jets this week, which is a little bit interesting. Maybe Josh Allen or Trayvon Walker could have a good week this week. We've already talked about Joseph Osai gets Lamar Jackson this week. And then, the Colts, I don't know. Maybe I'm not going Latu. Maybe I would go Trayvon Walker this week just to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard. Brady Cook, no idea what we're going to get there. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's definitely some uncertainty, but I don't see the issue there. And the utilization is phenomenal for Walker when he's healthy. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe he's ramping up a little bit. He had a half sack in week 11. He played 54% of the snaps last week and had 6 tackles, so didn't leave you with the goose egg, but man, that's a pretty good little situation there at home against the Jets. And Latu, I don't really like the setup this week. Aren't they at Seattle?
Yes.
Indy is at Seattle this week. So A, it's gonna be tough for Latu, and B, it's gonna be even tougher for Old Man Rivers. That's gonna be a crazy game to watch. What a weird world. 2025, Phillip Rivers is starting quarterback. Tackle heavy start 1 DB flex. Kyle Hamilton, Chin, Amon Wari, Wagner, Singleton, Barrett Carter, TJ Edwards, or Overshown. Start 1 DB flex 2. Okay. I think we're both starting Chin. No, we're both starting Kohlhagen for sure. You're going to start Kohlhagen over Chin, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go Kohlhagen for my defensive back, and then flex 2 of the rest of them.
I mean, I don't know how you move away from Bobby Wagner and Alex.
Yeah, that's. I'm just sitting here trying to think about in a tackle heavy league. You're probably right. You're not going to go Chin or Amon Wari over Wagner or Singleton there. So I think that's
I just
pretty
don't
simple.
see it,
Kohlhagen. Yeah, Kohlhagen, Wagner, Singleton, tackle heavy for sure. Big play would maybe be a little bit different, but yeah, I agree with you, Jake. Should I play without a kicker and add B. Robinson, or feel confident in McCaffrey and add a kicker? I don't know what that means.
I'm assuming it's for starting a kicker. I mean, for me,
okay.
I've heard a lot of stuff that says CMC is expected to be good to go, normal usage for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if they're up 20 in the fourth, they might, obviously shift things away there. But I mean, points are points, and you gotta get to week 16 before you can worry about what you got for handcuffs there for maybe situations, right? You need points this week. You don't know if Brian Robinson's going to be a thing going forward. So
for sure.
That's just how I look at it in a playoff matchup.
McCaffrey got us here. Let's ride him. I think everything I've seen is that he should be good to go as well. The kicker thing kind of threw me for a loop. I do a league on Yahoo that has a maximum of 3 pickups per week. So sometimes that's a little weird. You have to, be careful with that, because if you use them all early on and then somebody like a T. Higgins gets a late concussion, gets pulled, and you don't have another wide receiver, it's a little interesting. All right, noob IDP, start 4 and team defense. Currently got Seattle's D. All right, Ernest, Gray, Herbig, and DB spot is empty. Pick up Amon Wari or Witherspoon for a Hawk stack. Should I pivot to another matchup?
First of all, shout out if this is the noob from the IDP D up drafts, who's I think he's currently sitting in the top 3. So if that's you, noob, nice work, sir. Keep it up there. Maybe we should be asking you the questions.
Maybe.
That said, though, I do love Eamon to still make some plays here. He's been playing enough near the line of scrimmage, and that's where Phillip Rivers is definitely going to be attacking, and they're going to be leaning on Taylor. So I'm definitely okay going with Eamon here. But Witherspoon's been really heating up in the second half of this year too, so I could be persuaded to that side. I just like the playmaking ability of Eamon.
Yep, I agree with you. A lot of the same guys here in a lot of these questions. Love Ernest matchup this week. I mean, I could see a little big game for Ernest coming again. And this wouldn't be setting Christmas, but it would be setting like a week or so before Christmas, which I'd be fine with. All right, third eye. Let's see. Start Jay Myers, Reed, or Shakir in PPR. Probably Myers. Reed is just Watson has played really well, so you don't know whether he's going to, play good from one week to the next. And Shakir is kind of the same. Myers is just kind of the one that's been getting the targets and kind of what we know at this point.
100%. Yep.
All right. What is Tatum Bethune's outlook in Dynasty after this season? It's going to be a little skeptical, right? It's going to be okay, maybe. But I mean, he's going to have an option to maybe play his way into a starting role again next year once everybody gets healthy. Is that kind of your take on that?
Yep, and Jason King did a write-up for exactly this topic, as he talked about all the NFC outlooks for IDPs. So, get over onto the IDPshow.com. The article's there. You can check it out in great detail. But essentially, yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Bethune is someone who, contract-wise and talent-wise with what he's done, has definitely earned his spot on this roster moving forward. It's a question of, can they see him slotting in, be in that will role, kind of that off-ball, like D. Winters, once he's potentially gone, if they don't re-sign him. Does he stick mainly to he's the Fred Warner handcuff? Do they see him more as that green dot Mike? So there's a lot to be at play here. But if you can stash him, he's worth the stash because he has the upside. But I don't think you should be counting on him to be something for us in 2026 just yet. But a great hold if you got the roster spot to do it.
Well said, Jack. All right. I've already said that we're going to go quickly, and now we're about to go quickly. So we got to get caught up before we wrap this up. Which two do I start? Neal, Pittman Jr., Watson, Swift, Dowdle, or Pickens with a tougher matchup and Lamb is playing? I am going to go Pickens. I'm not taking him out of the lineup yet. And then I'm probably going Watson, as weird as that sounds. Christian Watson playing really, really well.
Yep, and they're starting to utilize him out of the slot, which will get him away from Patrick Surtain. So, yep.
Morning, guys. Should I put either Latu or Byron Murphy on my bench for OSI?
I could see doing Byron Murphy on my bench for OSI. Yeah. I could see that, but not Latu.
I agree. I'm not doing Latu. IDP flex Marco Jackson. Love X-Man.
I think DeMarco. They had him in the full-time role calling plays. Yeah. So it's DeMarco for me. You got to take the snaps.
Yeah, that's a thinker, but I think I'll roll with you, Jake. All right, sit to Campbell, Edwards, Blaine, Aaron Cooper, Kingleton, Simon, or Bernard. I'm sitting Bernard just because of the weirdness with the injury right now, which sounds kind of weird. And then I'm probably sitting Blaine.
Yep, exactly.
All right, third eye back here. As if Buckner is activated next week, should I play him and drop D Hunter? And then it shows the tackle points. I would not.
Think so. Not coming off IR.
Agreed. Rico, Hubbard, Kincaid, Tet, or what's his name? Michael Wilson. Pick one. Yeah. I'm gonna go Wilson probably. I mean, he's been awesome. They
got Houston. Houston has only allowed one 200-yard passing game this year, but they have
we're not playing
twice allowed a decent production from a single receiver. Tet feels like the safer play. Wilson feels like the volume play. Kincaid feels like you're betting on touchdown upside. Rico Hubbard, that backfield still scares me. Just in terms of who's who. So I'd probably go Tet, Wilson, Kincaid in that order.
Yeah, it's close for me. You want to roll Wilson, that's fine, just because the production's been great lately. But I could see Tet having a good week also. Starting Max Crosby and Marcus Lawrence, but need a third DL. Who would you guys start this week? Osai, Trayvon Walker, or Latu? I'm gonna go Trayvon Walker. Let's get a Trayvon Walker sack, but you might disagree with me.
Nope, Trayvon, Osai, Latu, I think is the order for me.
Dak or Brock this week? I'm going Dak.
Dak.
Yep. Phillips and Nolan Smith, Thule, and Owe. Yaya, Hembig, pick two. Am I stupid for doubling on the
Eagles.
I don't even know what that means. Okay, sorry. I'm not, I'm kind of old. That's a new thing, I'm sure. Versus the Raiders. Okay. Pick 2. Jake, who you picking?
I'm a big Phillips guy, so I'm going to keep him in there. But it's the two names we've been talking about all day, Phillips and Herbig,
Yeah.
right? Like those are the two I'm looking at. Thule would probably be third for me, and from there it's kind of all just a jumbled close mess.
Yeah, that's a pretty much. I had Noel Smith, I had Thule, I had Owe, I have Yaya, I have Hembig in XFL. So that's been the summation pretty much of my year. But also Max Crosby, so that's been fun. All right, Neal versus Myers in flex. Probably Myers.
Yeah, any PPR in the format, it's clearly Myers. If it's standard, I could see a little bit closer, but I love his utilization with Lawrence over the middle of the field. So
yeah, Neal could score this week. I mean, Carolina's defense has not been anything to write home about. He could fall into the end zone, but I agree with you on the PPR side of things. D. Winters, Devin Lloyd, or Jake Thomas for my third LB spot. Probably Jake Thomas. I could see maybe a little pop week from Jake Thomas from either him or Ernest. Indianapolis is going to probably run the ball quite a bit, which means Jake Thomas is going to get some tackles. But there also could be that pass rush upside there for Jake Thomas, at least from me.
Yeah. This is like the definition of a mid-off right here. But Lloyd and Drake may have found ways to, make great plays. I mean, these guys have been good in their own rights for IDP, but I mean, this is I think I'm going to go with you, Bobo. Trust it. Drake Thomas, Lloyd close second, Winters third.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one to watch. Good morning to the show. Roquan Smith, Ernest Jones, Nate Landman, and Swessinger. Which LB would you recommend to bench this week? Oh boy, I'm not benching Ernest Jones this week. I'm not benching Roquan Smith pretty much ever. So to me, it's pretty much C-Swesh or Nate Landman. I could maybe see benching. I'm not benching Landman this week. I mean,
not against the Lions.
The Rams have Detroit. Yeah, you gotta rinse and repeat with that one. I love the setup with Ernest Jones. We've already talked about that. And then Roquan gets Cincinnati this week, so there could be a big playability. I'm probably benching Schlesinger.
Dude, that's oh my god,
sounds disgusting.
Beautiful lineup for you this week. I mean,
cool flex this morning.
Oh god,
yeah, that's what it is. That's a flex question. That's all that was.
I love Ernest Jones. I could see the case for it though, where you could say Ernest Jones, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it could be a Drake Thomas week.
You know what? Let's just do it. We're gonna bench Schlesinger. I'm with you. We'll ride there. We'll give you a clear answer.
Doesn't feel great.
All right.
Doesn't feel great. All right. Tyreek Johnson for pick 2. Also AJ Brown and Watson lock, but Judy, Yoshevich, Downs, Vele, Timmy P. Let's win for the fences with these picks. No, AJ Brown and Watson are going to be in. I'm not picking any of those other guys over them. But Tyreek Johnson, Benford pick 2.
I mean, to me, it feels pretty comfortable. Will Johnson, Christian Benford. That's. I don't know. Tyreek's been good at times this year, but the matchups I think
at times
in the favor for Benson and
at times is the that's well said. I mean, it has not been anything week in and week out that we can rely on. All right, Philip, Philly Fantasy. What do you think about my IDP starting today? I have okay. I think it's great. All right, noob. That's me, baby. Well, we're calling the authorities. We think maybe that you're in the sheets too much, and they're gonna be contacting you pretty quickly. Pick one for my flex: Strange or Jalen Warren full PPR. Jalen Warren.
Okay, I'd actually go Strange here.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry, we're not going to give you a clear answer, Steve. But yeah,
up to you.
Yeah.
It's up to you. All right. What do you think about my lineup with my IDPs? I have Felix Hunt, Leonard Williams, Ernest Jones, Quay Walker, Nick Monroy, Jalen Piche, Paulson, and Adebo.
I mean, you got playmakers. You got some good matchups. It's just a matter of what's on the bench. What are the other options, right? But I don't have any major concerns with this. I mean, Leonard Williams as a DL2 is a little weak.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and is this a 14-team league, right? If, all of a sudden you're going 14, 16 teams deep, Leonard Williams as a DL2 is actually, kind of to be expected. So, I mean,
yep.
I don't have any major concerns. I would say I'd love to see you with a linebacker or a DL potentially as your flex, but
for sure. The Leonard Williams matchup this week is at least nice. And Jets Hunt
Right.
matchup is pretty good also. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Quay Walker is interesting with Adrian Cooper. I mean, I would like to have a little more solid linebacker there. But honestly, from a matchup perspective, this week sets up pretty nicely for you. So best of luck to you in the playoffs. PPR, pick 2, Wilson, Tet, or Hendo. I'm picking Wilson and Tet.
Same. Yep. If there's no Ramondre, Hendo would probably sneak in over Wilson for me, but you got to go with the volume.
I saw he's playing, but you might want to check in on that. All right, Cruz, sit 1, Barrett, Burns, Carson Schlesinger, Cashman, Simon. I know Mike Wohlert really loves Cashman this week, and because we have already told you to sit Carson Schlesinger, I really want to make sure that we say starts Carson Schlesinger on this episode. So I'm probably going Burns, Schlesinger, Cashman. What do you think? What's the last one there? Barrett or Simon?
I'd personally lean Simon. I just think the matchup's going to be there for him. But I can see Barrett. Again, hate to fall back on this. It really feels like a coin flip. But my lineup, I think I'm sticking Simon in.
I like that. All right, Knicks or Burrow this week?
Burrow. I mean,
yeah, I think so too. All right, M. Moore, New York Jets, or Derwin James, tackle heavy.
I mean, Malachi Moore has been just racking up tackles. That Jets defense is pretty seeing a lot of action, and that might be the case this week. Derwin, I know, is the big name. He's been,
but a lot of times he shadows Kelsey. Yeah, when they play Kansas City, I don't think Derwin has like monster games, if I remember.
Yeah,
so I found more.
Yeah, same.
Man, that is gross. That feels disgusting. All right, William, is it worth trying to start Trey McBride, or should I take an easier matchup?
You start him.
I think you start him. I don't think you get cute this week at this point in the season. All right, I had it right here and I was reading it, but it popped up. There it is. Well, PPR start who? Let's see, Purdy or Mahomes. I guess one of those two. CMC, Jones, Walker, Rodriguez, and then Olave, Diggs, Jennings. All right, so basically, who do you start of these two? I am going to go. I kind of like Mahomes this week. I don't think that defense is great, and I think Mahomes really needs to stack some W's. I'm going CMC, and then I'm going. Man, I don't really know the next one. Probably Jones. And then for my wide receivers, I'll go. Geez, man, these are weird. Olave and Diggs, Jennings. Probably.
I'd go Jennings over Diggs, but yeah.
I could see that. And then Waller, Strange, Rams, or 49ers defense. Wow, this is just a full-on, just like, hey, set my lineup for me.
Yeah, Strange is safer. Waller's upside.
Rams D probably.
Yep.
A little healthier. Hey, best of luck to you. Not IDP related, but any sleeper DSTs you like. Carolina, Pittsburgh, KC, Packers. Not Carolina.
I can see the Packers actually being a sleeper one for us this week. Yeah, Knicks has been up and down this year. I know he's had huge fourth quarters, but that's a defense that can lock in, and they could really capitalize.
All right, we got about 10 more here before a hard stop. Rest of the playoffs, I don't know which LB to bench. Schlesinger, Zaire, Franklin, Olagan, Sherwood, Nakobe Dean, Overshown. Franklin makes me nervous. I'm not playing Overshown yet. He hasn't shown me enough to really lock into my lineup. So Schlesinger, Zaire, Franklin, you're always starting Fourier. And then it's really between Sherwood and Nakobe Dean to me, to be honest with you. I probably lean Sherwood.
Yeah, nope, I'm with you.
All right, Marietta or Knicks.
Yep.
Also have Brissett, still Knicks. Hurts or Purdy, stressing. That's a gross one. Probably Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy feels safer. I get the Hurts upside.
Tennessee home. Yeah, for sure. I see the Hurts upside, but I think Purdy could have a good little week against Tennessee. They're not great. Purdy's supposed to have a great matchup. There you go. Half PPR flex, Slayton, Charbonnet, Walker, Yosh, or Strange. Pick one. You want to go Strange just for the brand? We should his name.
Yeah, Strange feels the safest. Yoshivas has probably got the best touchdown upside, but I mean that's
Jefferson or Hampton flex. Jefferson. Let's give JJ some love.
Okay,
I think
let's
he can maybe get back on the horse a little bit this week. Love my boy JJ. Prescott or Allen? Thanks much. Dak.
Yep.
All right. Foyer, Sherwood, Quay, or Hines Allen. Chalet looking for a safe floor. I like Hines Allen this week. I like that matchup for Jacksonville against New York.
Yep.
And that's at Jacksonville. I like JHJ. You okay with that?
Heck yes.
All right. Currently rolling Singleton and Garrett. That sounds great. Miles Garrett. That's fun.
Oh, you'll probably win with Garrett anyways. Then there you go.
Absolutely. Two more here before we finish. Good morning, Sam Darnold or golf. Love golf, especially disc golf. Devin Neal or Hubbard, PPR. I'm going to go golf. I want everybody. We've already talked about that in that Detroit-Los Angeles matchup. When do they play? They're on Fox, and they're the second game of the week.
3:25.
Yeah, that second slate. And then Neal or Hubbard. Let's go Neal.
Yep.
Let him fall into the end zone. I need 3. Moaning Guy, Devin Neal, Waddle, T-Mac, or Rico. Half point PPR. I like Moaning Guy this week.
Neal, Waddle, T-Mac for me. I'm going with the sure things. I could see Moaning Guy though for the touchdown upside, but I need to know that they're going to touch the ball, and that's Neal, Waddle, and T-Mac in my opinion.
Yeah, no Rico for me this week. I'm going to go T-Mac. I'm going to go Waddle. I'm going to spice it up and go Moaning Guy. Sorry, Jake. All right, two more. Devonta Smith, Ladd McConkey. For wide receiver 2, Devonta Smith.
Oh, God.
Let's hope for a big week for him.
Smith. Yeah.
Ladd has been kind of mid as of late. All right, last one. Got McCaffrey. He's a question mark, and they don't need him. Did pick up Robinson in case. Okay. Let's hope CMC plays. A lot of people need CMC this week.
And if you got the roster spot, you should be handcuffing all your stud running backs if you can. So
absolutely. All right, last one. Pick 2 full PPR. Waddle, Michael Wilson, Breece Hall, Devin Neal. All right, we pretty much already talked about this one. We're going to go Waddle, and we're probably going Wilson.
Yep.
You okay with that?
I like it.
All right. I think we done it. We're ready. We're ready for our play. I hope you are too. Thank you guys for joining. The IDP show has been here for you for the last 45 minutes. Doing a little Q&A, a little start sit with my boy Jake Kohlhagen at Late Round DB on Twitter. Jake, thanks for joining me this morning, buddy.
Love being with you, Bobo. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And in the words of Yulin Kuto, thanks, folks. Have a great day. See you guys later.